All right, so in this video, I'm going to be revealing the 5 brutal truths that building an aesthetic body has taught me about female nature and how building a masculine aesthetic body, like leaning down, getting shredded, packing on lean and proportionate muscle mass, like obviously that's going to change your looks, it's going to make you more physically attractive, but you're going to learn a lot about female nature and how women respond to you when you have that type of physique. And just when you lean down, you get shredded, yeah, you're going to look attractive from a physique standpoint, but also facially you're going to look more attractive as well. So you have to just keep that in mind, that when you get lean, you pack on lean, proportionate, strong muscle mass, but also when you are improving your facial aesthetics, which leaning down alone is going to help that a lot. It's going to make your cheekbones pop. You're going to have a sharper, more defined jawline. Your hollow cheeks are going to be there as well. You're going to see that just holistically, you're going to become more attractive. And the way that women are going to respond to you, the way that women are going to treat you, is just going to be a night and day difference compared to men that don't max themselves out in terms of their looks, their physique, focusing on maxing out that things are in their control and just becoming more attractive. You're going to see that the way that women treat you versus them is going to be a night and day difference. I'm telling you it is. So the thing that I learned about women when it comes to building an aesthetic body, getting in better shape, is that women don't just want good looking men, but they really want men that reflect them, but in the masculine. What do I mean by this? Like, I've noticed personally for me that as I built more lean and proportionate muscle mass to my frame, the more I dialed in my physique over the years, I started to attract women to me that were not only fit and in shape, but they were like naturally lean like me. I've noticed that I attract like more naturally lean, fit women to me. And I don't believe it's a coincidence. I believe it's because they seek out themselves in men that they want. A lot of the women, if you think about it, a lot of the women that you probably want, they probably reflect aspects of you, but just in the feminine. I've also noticed that when women are in shape and they're really into fitness, this may sound like a duh moment, but they want men that are in shape, that have lean, proportionate muscle mass, that look healthy too. If you're with a woman that works out and you're not working out, I don't know, man, like those type of situations get rocky. But I've noticed that women that were in shape, but they were also like on the leaner side, those women were the most attracted to me. And I noticed that I had the most success with those women. Not to say like women that were probably more like on the slim, thick side, because I like women that are like slim, but like fit and have like curves and proportion to them. I do like women that are more on the leaner side, but they have more, maybe more curves and a little bit more thick. Those are the type of body types that I like. But I've noticed that women will gravitate towards the man that represents her physically in the masculine. I know that from a physicality perspective, I noticed that women that have more tan skin tone like mine, like the olive skin tone, like I'm mixed, I'm black and white, they're dark featured, like maybe dark hair, dark eyes, but they're more on like the slim side. I've noticed more times than not that woman will at least find me attractive, that she would be into me, just because we mirror each other in ways, right? We mirror each other in ways. And you'll see that a lot of women will go for men like that represent them in the masculine, but when it comes to like their body and their overall physical look, that's the first thing I've noticed, is that women will be drawn to the men that reflect them in the masculine when it comes to their physical appeal. And then the second thing that I've learned is that the more attractive and desirable you are to a woman, the less your game matters in terms of like your riz, the words that you say, like the less those things matter, because her physical attraction for you and even sexual attraction, as well as the chemistry and vibe of it all, is going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting and will forgive you for your lack of being smooth or not saying the right things, which I don't really think there's any right thing to say to a woman, because every woman's different. I just noticed that the more in shape that I've gotten, the more I've maxed out my physical presentation. When I've met women, like they didn't really care if I was like more chill. They didn't really care if I was more quiet, if I was more reserved. I still know how to talk to women. I still know how to be engaging and be a good conversationalist. And that's the thing that a lot of women actually compliment me on, is me like being a good listener, right? I ask good questions. I make the conversation exciting. I ask questions about them to make them feel seen, heard, and recognized and all those things. But I've just noticed that, man, the more in shape I've gotten, the more I've improved my overall looks, the less those things matter. I'm not saying like having social skills don't matter. I'm not saying you shouldn't be a smooth talking dude, but you're gonna have dating coaches that will will make that like the primary filter of attraction. And it's not. Like, women are going to be into how you look first and foremost, facially, physique wise, height wise, all those things. They're going to be looking at those things overall first before anything that you say that comes out your mouth. Because you got to think about, like, when it comes to choosing signals, girls approaching men in person, send their friends to approach that man that they find attractive, or girls sliding up on, let's say, your Instagram stories or commenting under a piece of your content on Instagram, or a girl that messages you first on dating apps or even just matches with you. They haven't had a conversation with you. You didn't say anything to them yet. So they're already choosing you based on your physicality alone, not because of anything that you said. Now, of course, you still have to have the conversation with women, but you're going to find that the more aesthetic and in shape that you are, and the more you improve your physical looks overall, the women that are attracted to you and that they're into you, they're not going to really care about that. You can be a little shy. You can be a little bit more reserved. You can stutter from time to time. You can trip over your words and stuff like that. But if a woman's really into you and there's physical and sexual attraction there, bro, you're good. You're good. Because a lot of guys also think they need to be like the typical loudmouth, center of the attention, overly confident jock that is pretty much constantly that type of character in TV shows and movies. But that's not the case. I've actually gotten a lot of women by not saying much, by being a good listener, maybe just saying enough to showcase interest and have a vibe and chemistry going, which that's going to more so naturally happen anyways if there's mutual attraction. A lot of that was enough. Like, especially if she had high interest and high attraction for me, that was enough. So you're going to see that your words don't matter as much as people will say they do. But it's also kind of like a weighting scale, because I've had women that have told me, and maybe you could say that these women were probably more superficial than others, but I've had women tell me that if you're not a 7 in her eyes, if you're not a 7 in her eyes, you have to come really strong with personality and charisma. So there's like a weight, like a dial. The more attractive you are, the less charismatic and smooth that you have to be if the woman is physically attracted and really into you and has high interest. But if you're lacking when it comes to the physical appeal, now you have to find different weights of attraction to pick up the lack of the physical attraction. Take that for what you will. There's going to be dudes that have an issue with that. There's going to be dudes that are going to be bitter about that. But hey, at least you know the truth. Now you know what to do with it. But I'm just saying, like, the more attractive, the more in shape, the more aesthetic you look, and the more attracted and high interest a woman has in you, the less what you say matters. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of times women are gonna know if they want to be intimate with you, if they want to spend time with you. It doesn't mean it's a done deal, doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but a lot of women are gonna already be pre-sold on you in the sense where if you guys can have a basic conversation, if the vibe is cool, if you guys get along, if you're not a creep, if you don't give off red flags, she already knows that she'd be down to do things with you. There's not really gonna be anything specific or a magic word or pickup line or like a series of words that you have to say to make that happen. If she's physically attracted to you, boom, okay, you check that off. And then if you guys have vibe and chemistry, you're cool, you're chill, you're laid back, like you ask questions about her, like you showcase interest in her. It's a lot more simple than a lot of these dudes complicate it to be, right? It really is. And if you want to learn more about how to unlock this type of level of attraction in your life, where even if you maybe not be the smoothest talking guy, maybe you don't have the best riz or game, but you want to still learn how to attract women to you, bro, I'm telling you, like, once you build that aesthetic body, you get lean, you max out your looks, you max out your physique. I'm not saying that's going to completely solve your problems, but it's going to make it a lot easier to attract the women to you that are attracted to you, but aren't going to be expecting you to be like some type of like wordsmith or anything like that. Like, they're still going to be into you, even if you're not the most smoothest guy socially. Definitely check out that free training after this video where I break all that down more in depth and how I've helped a lot of guys, even shy guys, be able to still attract women to them. And part of that was by maxing out their looks and their physique. So that's the second point. Moving on to the third point, man, is that you are going to see that women are going to pursue you a lot more. You're going to see that women will, I mentioned this earlier, but they will slide up into your DMs on Instagram. You're going to see that women will approach you in person or send their friends to approach you in person. Now, to what degrees will a man experience this? It's going to depend on how attractive, how in shape he is to the woman, the context of the environment that they're in, like a bar, a club, a lounge. That's really where these type of scenarios are going to happen. But also you're going to see that you're going to get a lot more matches, more quality matches on dating apps. You're going to have women that are going to be messaging you first. You're going to see that even if they don't message you first, or not that many message you first, but if you message them first, because a lot of girls may just wait for you to message them first rather than it being like a lack of interest and attraction. But you'll see, like, when you message them first, they're open, they're receptive, they follow your lead, they're feminine, they're willing to meet up with you. Like, you're going to see that women will pursue you. You're going to see that women will pursue you. You will see that women will even make the first move on you. And I believe that this is very important because we've been told, at least me, like I've been told, women love the men that chase them. Women go for the smoothest talking guys. women want the men that like have all the money and they're successful in their careers and stuff like that. But none of that stuff matters if she's not physically attracted to you, if she's not into you. But it also shows you like women actually choose the men that they want and they will pursue the men that they want. That's why I'm all about inbound attraction, because I've realized like when I've built myself up to be a man that can attract women to him, the women that came to me by and large were always the best women to deal with. They were the best women to deal with. I don't deal with women that don't come to me. Like for the majority of my dating life, like I don't deal with women that don't come to me in some way, shape, or form. Right now, maybe I may selectively like talk to a woman, selectively approach a woman while I'm living my life, not like going out hunting and cold approaching and trying to make the goal like, okay, I need to get all these girls and get all these numbers. No, if I see an attractive girl while I'm living my life, while I'm already doing something where the intent was to do whatever it is that I was doing, not to meet women, but if I happen to come across a woman and she really stands out to me and she's attractive, yeah, I'll say something, I'll introduce myself. And a lot of times like those interactions are great. We'll exchange information and stuff like that. And then from there, see, depending on interests and stuff like that, if anything transpires from that. And a lot of times, like if you're going to a woman, a lot of times they're not going to go anywhere nearly as much just because there's so many variables at play. Whereas when a girl comes to you, it's just going to be a night and day difference. The treatment's going to be a lot better, right? But you're going to see that women do choose the men that they want, that they do already have their mind made up of the men that they want, that they are pre-sold on the men that they want, and they don't make it nearly as hard for the men that they want to get at them, to spend time with them, for things to actually transpire between them versus the men that they don't want. Women are going to set up roadblocks and barriers to protect themselves from men that they're not attracted to, as far as like those guys like talking to them and all that. Whereas they're going to try to create like an open lane for you. They're going to give you like a layup when you are that man that is aesthetic. You have that attractive physique that they go crazy for, like the V-shaped physique, the broad shoulders, wide back, slim waist, six-pack abs, sleek proportionate legs, right? You look facially attractive, like you're lean in the face as well. Like they're going to go for you in the sense of not only being attracted to you, but make things easier for you, make life easier for you when they actually want you, which shows you and proves that women do choose the men that they want. And I talk a lot more about this inside that free training, by the way, so check that out after this. But you have to understand that the women choose the men. Like obviously you can decide if you choose them back, but you're gonna have more success with women when they're the ones that are choosing you. And then moving on to the fourth point, bro, is that you will unlock the celebrity effect without fame, right? Because you're gonna see that women are gonna brag about you. You're gonna see that women are gonna be a lot more friendlier to you. They're gonna be a lot more feminine, and really they're going to admire you because you are a rare man. And the more in shape you are, the more lean you are, the more aesthetic you are, the more rare you are, because there are stats that show that like less than 10% of men in the United States alone have six-pack abs. It's actually more statistically rare to have six-pack abs if you are the age of 35 and older in the United States than it is to be a multimillionaire. That's not accounting for lean proportionate muscle mass aesthetic as well. There's layers to competition here. And you're gonna see that women are gonna brag about you. I'm telling you, women are gonna brag about you to their friends. They're gonna show your pictures on social media and dating apps to their friends and family. They're just gonna be a lot more friendly, a lot more feminine, treat you better. You're just gonna see that the overall treatment by women is just gonna be a lot better and a lot different than what a lot of dating coaches will paint them out to be. Not that women don't have the capability of being ruthless in a negative way, but they're also ruthless in a positive way as far as showcasing positive treatment towards you, being attracted to you, trying to make themselves open and available to you, spending time with you, being in close proximity with you. Once you start to become more attractive and building this type of physique and you know how to leverage it, you're going to experience a lot of positive sides of female nature that it almost will get to the point where you, not that negative aspects of female nature don't exist, but you'll almost be immune to them. You'll almost be unaware of them because you're experiencing so much positive treatment from women. And that's how I've engineered my dating life to be and how I've helped other guys engineer their dating life to be. And part of this is the halo effect, because the more attractive somebody is, the better treated they are and the more people project positive traits about them. But you're going to see that women will act like this around you. They're just going to overall be more open, receptive, friendly, because, and brag about you, by the way, too. They're going to brag about you to their friends, talk you up, hype you up, talk about all these different things that you have going on in your life, and just, they're going to view you and treat you like the prize because you are that rare man to them and that they're attracted to you. But also the halo effect is playing a role because when someone is good looking, whether it's a man or a woman, they tend to get treated better overall. That's why like clothing companies will use models to model their clothing, because it's proven that when you use a male model or a female model to model your clothes, you're more than likely going to sell the clothes. It's like that. They're just going to treat you better overall because you're more attractive. Understand that you're going to unlock almost like celebrity treatment without the status, without the clout, without the fame. And how I look at it is, because a lot of guys will say you need to be famous, you need to have status and clout to get women. But it's like, how likely are you going to be the next DiCaprio, the next biggest rapper, the next biggest singer, having all these hundreds and thousands and millions of followers? Like, how likely are you going to be that dude that has at. Whereas you can stack the odds in your favor and focus on what's in your control by maxing out your physique, maxing out your looks, getting that aesthetic body, getting that overall aesthetic look, and then knowing how to leverage it to attract women to you. Those odds are way more stacked in your favor for you to win and engineered for you to win versus trying to play the clout and status game. And then the fifth and final truth that I learned about female nature, and this is similar to when I said that they choose the men that they want, but they're just going to be a lot more aggressive. They're going to be a lot more forthcoming about their attraction for you. You're going to see that women are going to be like a lot more handsy with you. Like they'll find subtle ways or even more bold ways to touch you. They'll touch you in your more secure areas, if you know what I'm saying. They'll be more aggressive with you. You'll see that women are often going to want intimacy with you as much as you may want intimacy with them. If not, they may even want intimacy with you even more, especially in relationships. That's why if you're in relationships with women, you have to stay in shape. If you were like in shape when she met you, you got to stay in shape while you're in the relationship, because by you letting yourself go and getting comfortable because you aren't in a relationship with her, you're changing yourself to being a different man that she didn't make a deal with in her mind to be with, in a sense. Like you're not the same man that she fell in love with, as they said, but you're not the same man that she decided to be in a relationship with. You're changing up the contract on her by letting yourself go, but she's also going to lose respect for you. She's also going to lose physical and sexual attraction for you. When you stay in shape, even in relationships, and you have that aesthetic physique to you, you're going to see that women are going to be the ones that are constantly wanting intimacy with you. And that's going to unlock the mindset in your head that, oh no, women do want to be intimate. Oh no, women do care about physicality and looks on a man. Oh, like women do have high sex drives too, and they want to be intimate with men as much as the men want to be intimate with them, if it's the man that a woman truly wants and desires. And unfortunately, a lot of guys don't experience this in relationships. But I'm telling you, like when you are in shape, when you have that aesthetic masculine physique and overall look to you, and you have that look to you that when women look at you, they're like, when women look at you, they just want to rip your clothes off, bro, I'm telling you, you're going to be good. You're going to be experiencing a lot of the more positive aspects and sides of female nature. And again, if you want help when it comes to building that aesthetic body, getting lean, getting shredded, and leveraging your physique and your overall physical presentation to attract women to you, then again, check out that free training. I'll have a link down below in the description and the pinned comment. And with that being said, I'll talk to you in the next video.